Radio.
790 KABC.
This is Dr. Chambers on Call, keeping you healthy without that dreaded copay. I'm live and local. 800-222-5222 is the number to call with whatever is on your mind about your health. Anything from hemorrhoids to heart attacks. 800-222-5222. Now, let me ask you a question, and please don't panic. What about if I raised your taxes and it made you healthier? Oh, I'm getting chest pain myself. The mere thought of raising more taxes in California? We need more taxes. Well, bear me out. You see, soda tax, a tax on added sugar, has been proposed by lots of people in health because they said, you know what? All this soda that's full of sugar, all this added sugar we're doing, it's killing us. It's making us obese. It's giving us diabetes and blah, blah, blah. Now, the only country that could actually enact one was Mexico because 7 out of 10 Mexicans are obese. And against a huge opposition, including the soda industry in the United States, the Mexicans passed a soda tax law. Now, I'm not talking about $50 per bottle. I'm talking about something like 10 cents. And then public health officials and guys like me have been anxiously waiting for the results. And a year later, the results are in. The soda sales fell dramatically. Down. And as a result, weight has gone down. Now, whether this results in a good outcome or not, health-wise, we're not quite sure. It's going to take some more time. But we do know that added sugar, we do know that soda and all the calories in soda that you don't need, that's dumb, that's stupid, that makes you fat. And if you think that doesn't apply to the United States, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. How many of us here in the United States are pre-diabetic? By pre-diabetic, I mean in time, if you don't drop weight, don't look after yourself, don't exercise, you will become diabetic. You will get diabetes, you will have early heart disease, you will have eye problems, you'll have kidney problems. 1 in 3 of us, 1 in 3 of us, 1 in 3 of you listening to me are pre-diabetic. 1 in 3, that's enormous, that's a third of us. So, it's going to be a while before we get a soda tax here. So what do you need to do? Don't wait for public health to get in there. Do it yourself. Don't drink soda. Forget about it. Cut it out of your life. It's poison. Let me talk to Martin. Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing, doctor?
What's going on?
I just had a question.
Sure.
I can't get a straight answer from anybody I've talked to, but I've been diagnosed with hepatitis C for quite a few years now, and with these new miracle drugs out, the Harvoni and the other Sovaldi, I think it's called, and I can't get it prescribed to where my prescription will pay for it, and I've had the liver biopsy, and apparently my case isn't severe enough, but I wonder, what is it going to take? Do I have to get full-blown liver cancer before I can get it the treatment?
Well, I think it's a bit more complicated than that, Martin. And let me just say this. First off, the treatment for hepatitis C is just an outrage. It's appalling that they're making so much money off this. In fact, if we in the United States treated everybody who had hepatitis C with these newer drugs, we would be bankrupt. So the people making this drug are price gouging. I can't remember off the top of my head what the cost is. But for instance, in the United States, we're paying something like $30,000 per month, whatever it is. In the UK, Germany, they're paying a fraction of that. A fraction of it. So what's so special about the Germans? What's special about the English? Why are we Americans getting out of bed, spending more money, paying more money for this drug? And then we have people like Martin who can't get it? Now, Martin, the drug company says that if you have hardship, if you can't afford it, and your insurance won't go the whole way, you can write to them and say, hey, I have chronic hepatitis C. I've gone to my insurance company. They're saying I'm not qualified. They're saying this, they're saying that. I'm worried. Will my hepatitis C progress to liver failure? I don't know. There's no test that will tell me. They're waiting to see what will happen. But I want to be cured of it. And Martin, like any other American, deserves to be cured of it. What he doesn't deserve to do is be bankrupt by it. And what we as a society don't deserve is to be bankrupt by these companies who are price gouging. Now, in the news this week was this. There's a lot of complex drugs, life-saving drugs, that are being restricted because they're not making enough of them. When I read this, I went like, are you crazy? This is ridiculous. We spend more money on healthcare than anyone else in the world. We spend trillions of dollars. Big Pharma makes a fortune in the United States. And they're not delivering the drugs that we need that are life-saving when we need them. There's something wrong here. There's something absolutely wrong. When the Europeans look at this, they come along and say, okay, we have, say, let's pick a figure. Say it's the United Kingdom, the English. They have maybe 10,000 people, I'm just picking that figure out of the air, with hepatitis C. They go to the drug companies and say, yeah, we're not going to spend all this money. We're just not going to give it to you. What we are going to give it to you is this. And generally speaking, the drug company takes it. Because a little bit of something is a whole lot better than all of nothing, right? So why don't we do this here? Why don't we compete like this? Well, our biggest payer is called Medicare. And Medicare, by law, can't go into a drug company and say, let's negotiate the price. You know the way Walmart goes into a supplier and says, we want 1 million canes or we want 10 million canes. And the supplier says, they're going to be $50 each. And Walmart goes, no, they're not. They're going to be $5. And they're going to be much better quality. And you're delivering them on this day, or we don't buy. Medicare can't do that. Medicare can't go in and say, we're going to take the 5-day antibiotic course, azithromycin, or the blood pressure medicine, lisinopril, because we have, say, 10 million people who need some, and we're going to bargain with you. We can't do that because it's against the law. Now, no wonder healthcare costs are so high. No wonder people like Martin can't get the treatment that they need, the treatment that they deserve, the treatment that is their right. When a new medication comes out, like the medicines for hepatitis C, it's wondrous. They literally are saving lives. But they've done a very clever marketing ploy. Not everybody who has hepatitis C needs the medication, because not everybody who gets hepatitis C goes on to have liver failure. The question is which ones? And what the drug company has done very cleverly, in my opinion, has pushed it out there that everybody should be getting this drug. Now, unfortunately, people like Martin fall in that category where the insurance company says, hey, you know what? You don't quite qualify. You don't quite fit in. So we're not going to give you the therapy until things deteriorate a little bit. So, Martin, in summary for you, what I would do is I would write to the drug company directly and tell them that you've got a problem. Tell them that you can't afford it. Tell them that you want their life-saving drugs. They're making enough money they can afford to give it to you, Martin. And for anybody else that's listening to me, this just doesn't apply to hepatitis C. This applies to all of these newer agents, all of these life-saving drugs that they're price gouging us on. You can appeal directly to the drug company. What I personally would like is for our government to step in and say, hey, you know, now those of you who are capitalists, and I'm a capitalist, don't start panicking. What I mean by this is, when Medicare gets in there and they negotiate the price of a drug, guess what? Then everybody else has to fall in line with that. So we need to unshackle Medicare and allow them to negotiate the price. That way, people like Martin, that way he'll get the medicine he needs. That way he'll be cured, because he deserves to be cured. Now, if you want to follow me during the week, I have my digital platform, DrChambersOnCall.com. You can see my latest podcasts. You can catch all my videos. Condoms, you're not using them right. You can catch my articles. There's all kinds of stuff up there. There are even quizzes. And on the quiz, you can play doctor. We have a symptom in there. You put in your little answer. If you do well, you get to the next level. If you do badly, go back to the books. Go back to the books. So you want to follow me on Facebook? It's Dr. Chambers on Call. And if you happen to swing by, hit like. Let me know you were there. If you want to comment on the show, you want to propose a topic for the show, you can do it on Facebook or email me, drchambersoncall@gmail.com. That's drchambersoncall@gmail.com. I won't be able to take your individual questions for answers, but if you want to comment on the show, suggest topics for the show, because remember, This show is about you and your health. This show is about keeping you healthy, and we never charge anything. There is no copay. That's the beauty of it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Dr.ChambersOnCall. That's at Dr.ChambersOnCall. Generally speaking, what I do in this show is look at the news, interpret it through my little brain here, and tell you what I think, tell you what you need to know, and tell you if something is bull or if it's not bull. And when famous people like Bill Maher, the comedian, steps into my world and starts saying that these people should be given credence and starts telling people that, hey, maybe we don't need the conventional treatments for AIDS, when people like that do it, I will call them out here. I will let you know, because I'm here about you and keeping you healthy, keeping your family healthy, and talking about all of that every single week. If it's noon to 1, I'm live and local. You can catch me every Saturday. This is Dr. Chambers on Call on Talk Radio 790 KABC.